Okay, so tell me about Rec Room Paintball.
It's probably it's an awesome game, dude. It's fun, super fun. I
Yeah.
don't think Call of Duty has nothing on that. It's I don't know. I played a lot last night, and I played it some today. I got Shannon to play it, and man. It's
What did Shayna think?
She realized it. She got pretty good at it pretty quick.
Nice.
I I like getting two handguns and running through there like Neo in the Matrix, just
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
blasting
there's
people,
there's
dude.
one setting that I got to show you in there where it allows you to turn your head, but you can keep running straight. So like while you're running, you can look to your left and right. You just have
Yeah,
there's a setting you have
because
to
that really
change.
throws me off at times. That's one of my
Yeah. When we do play, I'll show you. But welcome everybody to Seeing Eye to Eye, a virtual reality podcast. Thanks for tuning in. I am Alex, and my co-host is Corey today.
guys.
Um, yep, we're just gonna talk about some of our recent VR adventures. Corey recently got a Quest 2, so he's been playing Rec Room. Um, Let me think. So, what other games did you buy? Did you buy any games?
I bought the Vader Immortal series.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Honestly, I've been busy, but I did play through a little bit of episode one, which I have played prior. Actually, on Matt's VR headset, probably last year or so. But I really like it.
Yeah.
Being a Star Wars fan, it's a good game. It's fun.
So, here's a good question. So when you played it at Matt's, you played it on like the PC VR, but this time, now that you own it, you're playing off of standalone headset. So, did you have any thoughts about the downgrade in visuals?
I mean, I'm not as picky, obviously, as some people are.
Mm-hmm.
But personally, dude, it's good. I really don't have any complaints with the quality of the Quest 2. I guess that's honestly one of my uh pluses about it is for the money, and it's a good headset, man. It's fun. There's a lot.
Yeah,
It's what I mean. I know it's not the top notch on visual quality, but it's pretty dang good.
yeah, I have
It's
some
good.
pretty good things to say as well about it, which we'll get into later into the show. Um, for listeners, the video portion of this is still going up on YouTube. However, we're not doing a video portion per se this time. Um, just kind of throwing together some audio real quick. So, but thanks as always for listening. Consider, oh, I got a splinter. Ouch. Uh, consider subscribing to us on YouTube if that's what you like to use, or subscribing to us on any of your podcast distributors. Um, with Seeing Eye to Eye Virtual Reality Podcast. So let me just take a look here at the different topics that we have. Da, 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 da. Games done. No, no, no. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to talk about the standalone VR experience because this is my big update for this week. Is I have continued to experience difficulties with using my Quest 2 with my gaming PC, which I know this is something that you're going to be interested in because, you know,
Yeah.
eventually you will jump into this as well. Basically, what it comes down to is some games like Beat Saber or Walking Dead Saints and Sinners or Racket NX, um, they're cross buy games. So when you buy the game, you get it on PC and Quest. And
Okay.
so I'm able to compare and contrast these games. And of course, the games look prettier and higher res on the PC. All the polygons are better, the resolution sharper. But I'm starting to notice a problem where, in order to avoid dropped frames, I need to lower the settings on the PC VR a lot. And so much so that I basically get back to what it looks like on the Quest.
Yeah.
So I just did some more research just now before we hopped on Discord,
Mhm.
and I discovered a couple of settings that I might need to tweak. So next week I will report back to see if I have fix this, but as of yet, um, like Beat Saber, for example, that's a rhythm game, and you have a stream of blocks coming to you, so dropped frames are really, really undesirable in Beat Saber. Um, and I was having to lower the graphics so much that I might as well play on standalone. So I've bought 2 song packs now. Because, by the way, all the song packs are on sale for anybody listening currently. But I made the purchase on um, the standalone quest and not my Steam version of Beat Saber. So yeah, one of the settings that I could change is this buffer video setting, which adds a little bit of latency, but then buffers for a dropped frame. And then the other one is bitrate. I might want to lower my bitrate.
Hmm.
If I understand it correctly, I need to keep optimizing and getting the right settings, but compressing each video frame takes up PC power
Right.
because unlike Matt's HP Reverb or any other PC headset, um, everything has to get compressed, then sent through the cable or over the air, and then decompressed on the headset very quickly. That's
So
how
you
it
need.
works with the Quest 2. Whereas other headsets, that cable that comes with the headset is basically like an HDMI cord.
Okay.
So that's the difference. So I'm going to keep messing around with it and hopefully I'll find it useful. There's a big Lunar New Year sale happening on Steam right now.
Yeah.
Um, and I went ahead and picked up Skyrim VR. Not
Oh.
so much because I'm
Oh
itching to
yeah.
play through Skyrim again because
50% off. Looks like
yeah,
15.99.
it's a I mean
That's
$20 for
decent.
Skyrim VR is that's probably as good as it's going to be for a while because
Yeah.
it still is a $60 game. That one is. Also, Fallout 4 VR is also on sale. However, I will warn that Fallout 4 VR needs a mammoth of a gaming computer to run. Last time I heard about it, so I messed around with Skyrim a little bit, but I need to keep messing with settings. See, in Skyrim you can do the teleporting movement or
Yeah.
normal locomotion, and I was just doing the teleporting because if you're doing smooth movement and you start dropping frames, that's not good. But if you're teleporting, it's not that bad.
Yeah. I would say, yeah. A set of courses is only $4. Not a bad deal.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up. Let's see here. Temple raid. Here we go. I'm gonna pull this up and actually show this on the video so that we are actually doing a little bit of video. I also bought Temple Raid, which is on sale right now for what is it, $2 or a buck? A buck 24 is Temple Raid. So here it is. Corey, I don't think you can see it because,
No, that's fine.
but it's basically like an Indiana Jones um, type game. Here, give me just a second, and I will share. Camera. Share my screen. Okay, if you click on Discord now, you can see it. So Temple Raid is like an Indiana Jones type game. It's very simple. It's very indie. Um,
Okay.
the main game mechanic is that you're able to climb around, which you should be able to see in this video, maybe. Yeah, here we go. See how so you're climbing around? That's a big part of it. So it's really simple. There's diamonds and treasure around, and then you're just climbing on these temple like
Jungle Gym.
bars and rocks. Yeah, jungle gems, and you're looking for treasure,
Hmm.
which seems really simple. But I recently got these dumbbell weights from Kiwi Design. So what this is, um, let me see if I can add. Um, huh? No. What it is it's a weight that attaches to the Oculus Quest controller.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't show that because I don't have the video set up. But it's a little weight attachment that fits inside the ring part of the controller,
Yeah.
and so now I have like extra weight going on. So while I'm, pretending to climb in my apartment, I have like weights going on. So kind of kind
Interesting.
of get some arm activity going on.
For $1.24.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't know if I would recommend it. All of the UI is for like the HTC Vive. So like whenever you see tutorials, it's the controllers that you see are not Oculus controllers, and it's really like a one button game. But it's something. It's something really cheap, and hey, maybe it's like a good time waster.
Yeah.
This kind of goes into my next topic, which is this the golden age of VR? Um, and here's what I mean by that. If you do you remember back when iPhones first came out, those first 5 years or so,
Yeah.
there was games on the iPhone and Android. And what you would do is you would pay $2 or $3 or $5 for a game, and then you would have that game, and that was it. It was like an actual game with levels, and you'd play it and beat it, and you'd be done. Like Angry Birds
Yeah.
is an
Yeah.
example of that. Well, that's not really happening anymore. Now there are examples of that still, like Monument Valley, but really, what's going on now with mobile gaming is that when you get a game, it's free. Like if you look at the most popular games, they are free. And then what happens is some people will pay for microtransactions.
Yeah.
And
I'm one of
some
those guys.
are you really?
Hmm. Oh yeah, I love buying extra content. And yes, it just depends what it is.
Are
Depends
you a
what.
Candy Crush guy?
No,
Okay.
no, I'm talking like it's got to be a real game, man. Like Forza Horizon. I'll spend money on extra cars because I like that.
Okay. Well,
You know what I mean?
I
That's
mean,
worth it,
yeah, that's worth it. I would say
especially
that's a little
especially
bit different because I
but
don't know. So,
the Game Pass I get. You know what I mean? I get essentially that and included in all the uh you know crap ton of games that I get to play. You know what I mean? So essentially it's a minimal fee for to have that game. But to spend, I think the car pass or whatever it is, so I'll get cars now
yeah, I guess
as they come.
Forza Horizon
It's worth
does
that.
count because part of what my little rant is that the game is free, and I guess Game
It's
Pass
not quite
kind of
free, but
counts.
it's close. You know what I mean? Like it's minimal
Right.
cost.
So that's part of it is that the barrier to entry is free, just like it's free to get into a casino, say.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
there's little slot machine mechanics in these games now, like gotcha mechanics where you get a prize and you're not sure what it is until you unwrap it, and then you unwrap it, and then a dice roll happens, and maybe it's the thing that you want, maybe it's not. So there's little mechanics like this, which it's fine that they exist, but this is what you'd call like freemium games, where the game is basically free. Cosmetics are scarce and hard to obtain, and therefore valuable, and people are willing to put a lot of quarters into the slot machine to try to get it.
Right.
And if it's not a slot machine, then it's some sort of other skin mechanic. And again, all these things are fine. But I'm kind of happy that currently in VR, we're in some sort of golden era, kind of like mobile had a long time ago. I remember back when I first got my first iPod Touch and I got some Apple gift
Yeah.
cards for Christmas and I
Yeah.
used those Apple gift cards on things like one was like a Crash Bandicoot kart racer for
Oh yeah, I
iOS.
remember that.
There was like a Halo clone. Game Loft used that
Yeah,
Game
Game Loft
Loft.
used to kill it with clones
Yeah, they
of
used to make clone
the game.
games, and
Call
for
of
a while
Duty.
you'd pay $5 or $7 for your Call of Duty clone, and then that'd be it. You'd have it.
I
But
remember
now,
we used to all share our accounts. We all had all the games. We bought them all of us, and then we would just sign into each other's accounts on our iPads and play each other. You know what I mean? Do you remember doing
yeah,
that?
I think did we do that?
Yeah, I remember when we were living in Fort Wayne there.
Oh
Because I,
yeah, when we were living with each other for a hot minute
yeah,
there. Yeah, remember Real Racing?
yeah, that's I remember
Yeah.
sitting in my college class that I was supposed to be paying
Yeah, well
attention, but
guess what?
playing games and
There's
you
no
know,
real like that Real Racing what it was 3 came
I
out
got, yeah, they got the
when we
three, I
were
think.
living together, and then now guess what? Now there's no Real Racing.
And the
There's
asphalt is now still. I think asphalt's still around, but the
right, but you know what I mean. Like
yeah, that
a
them,
game
yeah,
where you buy it and then you're done and you play it and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not reminding you every 5 seconds about how you need to attach your
They can
email and
do this. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Well, I I think it's pretty easy to agree with the sentiment that like VR is in a pretty cool area right now, and this Temple Raid game that I was talking about is a perfect example where it's very low production, it's low cost, but there was some heart put into this, and it's something, and it's not riddled with ads, and it's not riddled with slot machine stuff. If anything, it's probably kind of lengthy. It'll probably take you a long time to see it
get
all.
through it.
So,
What do you know about Fallout 4's VR?
um, Matt has had me try it a little bit. I know that it's for him it was a pain to get to run smoothly.
Yeah,
So you would probably want to reach out to him. I reached out to him today to ask about Skyrim VR
yeah,
because I was having issues with it. So,
yeah. I haven't even attempted to even bridge. You know, what I mean, to connect or what do you say, tether? Yeah, tether the headset to the computer yet. I've been trying to just enjoy it. You know what I mean? Two separate entities at the moment.
yeah. Yeah,
No,
we'll
not that
get
I
there
want
before
to.
too
You know what
long.
I mean? It's just yeah. You know what I mean? I'm gonna enjoy it right now for what it is,
Yeah.
which is which is really cool because honestly, dude, it is just a neat experience. It's a whole different gaming experience itself. It's neat. I'm excited to show people. You
Yeah, I'm
know,
trying to think if there's any other things I want to talk about with the quote unquote golden era.
I actually kind of discussed that similar thing with my cousin Chris today.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
um, and like he agreed, you know, but he said like the baby, you know, I guess which we've kind of said that all along. Like really, it's just starting to pick up. But you're saying it's like an early golden age, you know, where it's
Right,
starting
it's
to you're starting to see some real fruit from the I don't know from the work that's been going on in the years, you know, and you know, especially with the, you know, I feel like this last holiday the Quest did pretty well, and you know, I think it's going to become a lot more popular. It's catching on. You know what I mean? I believe
yeah.
my in-laws are going to buy a couple more because the kids fight for time on it so much. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
they enjoy it.
Yep. Well, it is nice that like I so I try to get on the Oculus app once a day because there's a daily deal, which usually it's only like 10% off, you know. But,
Yeah,
you know, every now and then I'll get on the Oculus app and I'll be like, "Hey, let me just see what there is cuz some of this stuff isn't that expensive
right.
and I'll take a shot and the odds of it being good are pretty high. Again, my my like favorite thing to do in VR right now is to play Racket NX, which was on sale for $13 a week ago or so. And I just took a shot in the dark after reading some reviews. It's very simple. There's no locomotion. You stand still and you play racquetball, but it's just the right amount of activity, the right amount of skill, and I love it. And it's not a big Skyrim, it's not Half-Life Alyx, but it's also
Right.
not a lottery, right? It's not a slot machine. So,
Uh, it's like I'm enjoying the paintball rec room. You know, that's it's good. It's fun. It's simple, but I really have had myself laughing and just really enjoying it. It's fun.
Do you do you talk to people at all?
Yeah, I was talking to some lady in there today. She was laughing, and like a guy jumped and got stuck up in a window. We shot each other, but it was just it was funny. It was a good time, and
Yeah, last night I hopped in on Synth Riders. There's a lady on Synth Riders. Her name is Mrs. Lyons. Shout out to Mrs. Lyons, and she'll have a Synth Riders lobby open like almost every night, and
uh,
she's really nice. And then people will just stop in and play a couple of songs. So she's basically being like a DJ, right? Because I recently obtained all the custom songs for Synth Riders, which is like a rite of passage, right? Like that you can add custom songs to it. Do you know what
okay.
Synth Riders is?
Yeah. I know.
It's close to Beat
Beat
Saber.
State. Yeah, I think you had me played it when you
So
come over.
like I added a couple of custom songs and then eventually somebody online said, "Oh, this is like a rite of passage. It's like Pokemon, you got to catch them all.
Hmm.
You're going to just want to click the add all button."
Right.
So, I added all these songs. It was nearly 1,000 songs, which is great, but I don't know where to start when sifting through these. So I'll just hop in on Synthwriters, and people like Mrs. Lyons will curate songs, and then I'll kind of learn what's good. And yeah, so that's what I've been up to as far as social goes. Um, but yeah, we'll have to play some
I did. I
paintball
did
or
add.
rec room.
I did add a friend on there today. Some guy I was going competing pretty much, against pretty hard in
Yeah,
the game. I didn't really talk to him or nothing, but he did want to add me for. So maybe
yeah,
next time
I've
he's
I've
playing,
added
I can
several
jump on.
people. Which that's something else that's pretty rare that you don't typically do nowadays
Right.
with gaming. But in VR you do, you know?
Yeah.
That so I've added several people. That said, I haven't like come full circle and like hung out with them again. Um Actually
Yeah.
wait, I take that back. In VR chat I have. So in VR chat I'll add friends and then sometimes while I'm on VR chat I'll just pop in to whatever room they're in, say hi, kind of just update them on stuff and then I'll move on. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, in my youth, I was a RuneScaper, and
Oh yeah, I
um,
remember
I
RuneScape.
would definitely have people on there that I normally wouldn't talk to, but man, you get them days where and your normal buddies aren't on, and it is today just happen to be popping on and playing. So you know what I mean. You can hop on and get
Yeah.
something done, or go do some quest or mine.
I
Plenty of
remember as
mining.
kids there was one time I came over to your place and you were helping me out on RuneScape. Like I got up and like gave you the mouse and keyboard. And so you're you're walking around as me on RuneScape and you're like, "All right, Alex, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start begging for stuff." So you asked somebody for free gold or free gear and he agreed, and so you followed him. Remember the follow mechanic?
Oh yeah,
And
out to the wilderness.
yeah. Well,
The farther you go out, the
I
you
I
know.
don't not sure if this is the same if we went out to the wilderness or not, but I remember I kept like over your shoulder. I kept saying like, tell him thank you, like type thank you in, and you were like, no, don't don't be too you know thankful. That might tick him off.
Oh man,
Uh,
I used to get people to Kanye give them their stuff like you tell them they're going to trim their armor, and the only way to get trimmed armor was if you were a member and you paid money.
uh-huh.
So some of them dummies would give up some of their stuff, and you would and they can't get it back. They can't get it back unless you give it back to them. So
Wait,
not
so
happen.
you were claiming that you were a member?
No, you're just claiming I can trim their armor for you. I can trim it for you.
Okay.
You just gotta give it to me. I'm gonna perform a spell on it, then I'm gonna give it
Yeah.
back.
And then they
No,
wouldn't.
yeah, then I would never give it back.
Huh.
Oh, treachery.
All right, let's see here. So we talked about the golden age of VR. We pretty much covered using standalone VR. Um, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. My coworker Steven, he is very adamant about using Rezo hack, which this is a method of increasing the resolution on the. Hold on a second. Um, so it involves you going into the settings on the Quest on the PC and upping the resolution, which is
Um,
something that you can do with the side quest software for Windows. Um, you plug your Quest in via USB, you open up the program, and it allows you to do several things, including upping the resolution, upping the frame rate, changing changing static foveated rendering for all you nerds who know what that means. Um, and this is something that I might try out because again, I'm coming to find out that all things considered, standalone Quest is not bad.
no, it's
Um,
not, man. It's definitely a good solid unit, man. I'm saying on its own, standalone.
right.
It it's a good
Unless
system.
I figure something out with these PC settings. Because again, PC is beautiful, it's pretty, but it drops frames. Not all the time, but every minute or every 10 seconds, it'll drop a frame. So if you're smoothly moving around Walking Dead Saints and Sinners or Skyrim, that gets old.
Right.
Um, so the downside of using this Rezo hack is that it's going to be more taxing on the headset, which means that you're either going to lose frames in the headset or it's going to drain battery life. So I haven't messed around with this stuff yet, but that might be something that I look into. Oh, hey, here's another pro con for using standalone is that some games the the save doesn't transfer to PC. So in Demio, which Demio is like the top-down D&D game that's
Yeah,
multiplayer,
I remember you told me about that.
your checkpoints don't transfer to the PC version of Demio, which I don't understand why, because in my favorite game, Racket NX, everything transfers just fine. It's
Right,
cross
you think that'd
save.
be pretty simple. I don't know. I don't know much
Yeah.
about that.
And then in real VR fishing, same thing. Save doesn't work.
Hmm.
Also, with real VR fishing, it seems like they've basically stopped updating the PC version because it kind of looks a little, the menus look a little older. And then the multiplayer lobbies aren't shared between PC and Quest. So I checked out the multiplayer lobbies for fishing on PC and there was like one. And I thought, okay, let me see if this is different for Quest. So then I quit the game, launched it on standalone Quest, looked at the multiplayer, and there was like a dozen multiplayer lobbies.
Yeah.
So you have a larger pool of people to play with in
Yeah.
multiplayer. You don't have to worry about your save uploading to the cloud or syncing to the cloud. Is that going to work? Are your settings going to carry over? Because now with synth writers, whenever I change a setting on the one version, I have to remember in the back of my head, hey, when you use synth writers on the other version, change that setting. So these
Yeah,
are,
good man.
it just, it's a lot. Um, it's a lot to juggle. So it's fine. Like I'm still gonna mess around with PCVR, but for some things like Beat Saber and synth writers, that's probably just gonna be on the headset. So I'm probably gonna reserve PCVR for Half-Life Alyx, Skyrim, things that are exclusive. Okay, let me look here. Okay, I wanted to talk about another big topic, and then yeah, we can start to wrap this up. So I don't know if you heard this or not. I don't have an article in front of me to show, but the FCC, I think that's right, the FCC government organization is looking into possibly suing Facebook for antitrust reasons.
Okay.
Have you heard about this at all? And
Uh,
I'm sure I'm
Possibly.
butchering this to a degree, but basically the government is concerned that Meta slash Facebook is uh buying up different companies, and they're getting close to having some sort of a monopoly.
Ooh.
But if I understand it correctly, their rationale, and it really comes from Meta buying Supernatural, which, right, which Supernatural is the dedicated fitness game. Are you
Okay.
familiar with
I've heard of it.
Supernatural?
I've not that, but I can't say I'm super familiar with it. I've heard it, but
Yeah, so Meta acquired Supernatural towards the end of last year, I think. Last quarter of 2021. And apparently the FCC is now investigating, if Meta is making monopolistic moves. But this is ironic, right? Because Microsoft just
I mean, seems to be
started the process of buying Activision Blizzard.
right.
And as of yet, I don't think we've heard anything about antitrust laws coming into play for Microsoft.
Right. I mean, I don't know what they could do about it, to be honest. At this,
Um, I mean, well, the whole thing with Activision and Blizzard and Microsoft, like, it hasn't occurred yet. These deals, they get announced, and then they still get finalized over the following months, and then the purchase will happen over a rollout or something. So like the government could just like try to stop it.
okay.
I think that's the idea. But like I said, Microsoft's not really under the microscope right now. Meta is, um, but it's over this fitness game. So I don't really. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around that.
But imagine
Especially,
being enough for them to have saying that that's a monopoly. You know what I mean?
yeah. Which first off, it's not. There are other fitness games,
Right.
um, and there's opportunity for other fitness games to rise up. Um, Whereas with Microsoft and Activision Blizzard, there's really only one Call of Duty.
Right.
Others have tried to, be their own version of Call of Duty, but that doesn't really work. That's not how it works. There's one Call of Duty. That's how it is. And Microsoft bought it,
Yeah.
which is like a vertical integration. So, yeah, somebody else could come along and make a fitness game if they wanted to. So I think that the reason why Meta is under investigation for antitrust is stemming from how they were in the hot seat and Mark Zuckerberg was in the hot seat a couple
Yeah.
years ago, or not a couple years ago, more than
Right.
that. But for the data collection, election influencing type stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that because the government has already kind of like flexed their power with Facebook, they're just doing it again.
Yeah.
Um, that's just my take. I have no idea. But
Yeah. I unfortunately don't know too much about the situation to,
maybe
you
they
know.
still have like that chair that Mark Zuckerberg sat in, and they still have that little cup of water. And it's, Microsoft just bought Activision Blizzard, but the government's like, yeah, but we still have the Mark Zuckerberg nameplate on the desk here. Let's just, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you.
So my other take on Supernatural is this, which I will probably repeat frequently on this show. Supernatural is a great fitness game. It's got real licensed music, like Post Malone type music. That's how you know it's good. It's got Post Malone.
Get the real stuff.
Yeah. It's got real uh, trainers, like coaches.
Oh, wow.
They're not live, they're pre recorded, but like it's all high quality. Like when you
That's
see
good.
when they're standing in front of you, it's like a stereoscopic cutout of them, so it looks good. The
Mhm.
environments look good. The music sounds good, and then the boxing and the sword swinging, all that is great. But it's too expensive. I don't know if you've
Yep.
heard me talk about this before, but they want $15 a month,
Oh,
which that's a lot. Game Pass is $10 a month.
right.
Now, from a business perspective, at that price point, $15 a month, Supernatural is attempting to emulate the pricing structure of a gym membership. Which, hey, that's not a bad idea, but I don't
Right.
think it's the best idea. I think the best idea would be to bring the price down
Um,
more towards like a Netflix subscription type of service that
okay.
consumers would use. And we already have an example of what a Netflix for video games is. It's called Game Pass and it starts at $9.99 a month.
Mhm.
Um, but no, Supernatural is pretty expensive. So I don't understand. I just fail to understand that they're maximizing their profit.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah, it
I'm
don't
sure
make
they
much
have a
sense to me.
I'm sure they have a pretty good customer base that really enjoys their product. I really enjoy their product, but I feel like if they lower the price, their customer base would grow.
Widen, grow. Yeah.
Yeah, grow so much so that did I say that right? It would grow so much that they would end up making more money.
Yeah. I hear you.
So it's actually kind of frustrating because I really like Supernatural, but I'm not gonna pay $15 a month.
No, that's kind of high.
Yeah, and it's it is something that I would actually use. Like in
Yeah, I mean, because you can do similar stuff for free or less. You know.
yeah, well, my example is so a month of Supernatural is $15, and maybe you like to do the boxing games, right?
Yeah.
But then the thrill of the fight is $10, and that's a whole boxing game on Quest.
Yeah. See. Yeah. I mean,
And then, but you might say, oh well, there's licensed music in Supernatural, like good popular new music, which is true. But then there's synth writers, which is $25.
one time.
Yeah, one-time purchase, and you can add custom songs to it. Which, to be honest, adding custom songs that's
Pretty cool.
I don't think that's ethical, but
But
like they I don't know, it's kind of a gray area,
yeah.
because there's like no like nobody like meta synth writers, nobody is trying,
Oh
is
yeah.
trying to
There's
stop
the
that.
enjoy it while it lasts, because I'm sure if it gets popular enough, they'll probably do
Yeah.
something about
Well, also there are song packs that you can buy for Beat Saber and for synth writers. And again, right now they are all on sale. And the sales are pretty good right now if you want to buy a song pack. But here's the thing, you buy a song pack. Like I won't lie, don't judge me, but
it.
I
No.
bought a Skrillex song pack and a Lady Gaga song pack for Beat Saber.
Heck yeah.
All right? Now say what you will say, but come on.
Can't break
For Beat
it.
Saber, for waving your arms around and squatting and lightsabers, come on.
You
It's
can't
good.
read my poker face.
It's good. Um But I now that I own those, I can just play them over and over again.
True. True. Yeah,
Whereas
and as long as you like it and
Supernatural,
stuff,
when you're sorry, go ahead.
and no, and it's stuff you like, stuff you're gonna want to listen to and get active listening to. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're,
yeah, that's true. But with Supernatural, once your subscription lapses, that's it.
yeah, see that? Yeah, that's not worth that to me. That's a lot of money, especially
Yeah,
over,
especially over a year. And
yeah,
they push you to pay for a year because if you pay for the whole year up front, then it's $13 a month,
still
which
not
that's better.
better, but that's
That's
not a lot.
closer to Game Pass price.
That's for like 100 Game Passes for a, to play a crap ton of games.
Yeah, but
And
yeah, when you want to achieve the 9.99 price for Game Pass, you only have to buy 1 month. You don't have to buy 12.
yeah,
So, my hope is that now that Supernatural has been acquired by Meta, they'll have that bigger bankroll to continue to get the fitness coaches, which are awesome by the way, and the licensed music, which is awesome, but they'll be able to subsidize the cost of entry. So,
yeah, yeah. I mean, with them Meta buying them, you should probably see something different, come out of
yeah,
that.
or perhaps Meta should have some sort of Game Pass thing of its own where for $10 a month, we'll call it Meta Pass, right?
Right.
For Meta Pass for $10 a month,
Mhm.
you get access to Supernatural and you also get access to Beat Saber because I believe Meta purchased um, the makers of Beat Saber. And then you also get like a curated game that will roll in and out each month, kind of like how Game Pass and Netflix roll things in and out. And you'll get a couple discounts.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it'd be smart and it'd be wise of them to do it, because obviously it's uh, showing to be a good idea on the Microsoft's end with Game Pass. So, I mean, I don't think it'd hurt them any if they tried that avenue.
Yeah. Yep, that would be like a much better alternative for Supernatural. Um, because yeah, I don't know. It's when you've set the bar at $15 a month. How do you lower your price without like offending your current customers, devaluing your product?
I don't know. I mean, you gotta cut,
It's
cut somewhere. So, you know what I mean?
yeah, but
Um,
if you could like bundle it together with something like a fitness pass for
yeah,
$15 a month, and you get Beat Saber, Supernatural.
games that rely on movement mechanics.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is this little proposition that I'm making up. This is a pretty tempting hot thing right now because Apple is doing exactly this. Are you aware of that? Apple, they have a fitness thing on the phone, and
Like
they
the
want,
tracking, the
huh?
goals and stuff. Like when they set the goals and
Yeah, but I think a year ago or so, they did something where they wanted you to start paying for it,
really.
but it again, it came with coaches, it came with actual like routines that you would put on your phone or your Apple TV, and then your Apple Watch would help sync it up. But then what Apple did is instead of just giving customers the option to pay an expensive monthly fee for that, they made a bundle thing called, I want to say it's called Apple One, where it includes the fitness paid for service, it includes Apple TV Plus,
Right?
and it also includes Apple Arcade. as well. Not Apple Music. That's a different thing. I think it was, I could be getting this wrong, but it's Apple Arcade, Fitness, and TV. And then they were asking, I forget, $10 a month. And then you got all three of those. So that's one way that you can get around devaluing your product is you bundle it with other things to give a de facto price drop. So you're not actually dropping the price, you're adding value, which is business people love it when you say adding value instead of, dropping the price, among other things. All right. Um I have a couple more news items on here. Anshar 2 Hyperdrive released. 2 Hyperdrive. Take a look at that real quick. Okay, so this is a video game on Oculus. You might want to type it in on your end, Corey, so that you can see it. But this is some sort of space game. I've seen trailers for this. It's $20. So yeah, I don't know. It's a flying game. You know what these ships look like, Corey? They look like the Guardians of the Galaxy ship.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I really don't know that much about it. This is something that Matt added to the show notes.
I played one the other day, but it wasn't VR. It was okay.
Yeah, what was it?
Second.
The other one that we have coming out soon, but not yet, is Ultra Wings. Ultra Wings kind of reminds me like VTOL, but more
Elite.
cartoony.
Elite Dangerous.
Oh
That's
yeah, Elite Dangerous.
it was okay. I don't
You know
know.
that's in VR.
Yeah, I saw that actually today. Looking around.
Yeah,
I'm
Elite
like,
Dangerous gets. I mean, that gets serious real quick.
it does. Like
Um,
that's start like travel, but I'm not. I don't know. I'm really not quite sure
Let
what
me
you're
see if
supposed to
I
do.
can. Well, it's because so Matt has put a lot of time into Elite Dangerous, and it's like for real. Like the ship piloting mechanics are pretty real to the point where you can have a HOTAS joystick. But there's also like menial tasks that you could find yourself doing in a good way. Like your job in Elite Dangerous could be to just be like a security ship, like a security guard ship for a
Yeah,
mining operation.
I'm trying to understand.
So yeah, you could enlist on Discord. You could like, you're just a bodyguard for a mining ship.
But dude, yeah, that thing looked like the map looked super extensive, like insanely extensive.
Yeah.
It's huge, dude. Huge. Like you know what I mean? Like it's like I couldn't even. It was hard for me to fathom if that's really the map that I think it is. That's huge, and so I really, I barely touched the iceberg on that one. To the
Yeah.
iceberg, I really like to get into it and check it out more. But
Yeah, Matt's had me play it in VR for a little bit, which it seemed pretty good. But this is one of those games where Matt convinced me to buy it, and so I own it on Steam, and I did buy it and I downloaded it, but I never I never started it up once because it's just so daunting.
yeah, it is.
And it's like, when will I start Elite Dangerous? I don't know, maybe the next time I have 3 days off in a row.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, because I'm like, okay, I got the hang of it real quick. No. Like it's nope.
Yeah,
I have
it's like
no
you
idea
almost
where
need
I'm going.
to take a class on YouTube for 2 weeks before you play this game.
It's just a lot. It seems simple, but it's a lot. It really is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe if I was at a different point in my life, this would be
That's
good
like
for me.
that's what I keep saying. Like I'm not bothered about tethering my headset up and stuff yet. I got so much game to explore, like gaming to explore on the VR. I got so much gaming to explore on the computer before I even need to try to merge the two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's, I got potential years worth of gaming to explore at the moment.
Yeah, and hopefully by the time you start that adventure, I will have really worked out the kinks on my end with Quest and PC.
Make it a little easier for us to play it.
Yeah, or just easier. Maybe you'll decide to get a link cable, you know?
Yeah. No, I'm sure I will. I'm
That's
just,
what Dad ended up doing. I sold him the link cable that I had.
I'm sure I'll get one here sooner or later. Right
So
now I'm
this
at,
is sorry, I know you can't see this, but now I'm looking at Ultra Wings. Do you want to check out Ultra Wings?
what's that on
There's
Steam?
it's on the Oculus store.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So if you type in Ultra Wings Oculus, it should show up. This game kind of looks like an Alex game, and I'll say it, it looks like Pilot Wings, which is a Nintendo franchise. I mean, the
Okay.
title
Yeah.
kind of seems like Pilot Wings. The balloon shooting at one point, the flying through targets. This is a very Nintendo thing. Oh wait, okay, so it's already out on. Wait a minute, is it out already?
Mm-hmm.
Um, February 3rd. Today, we're incredibly proud to announce the release date for MetaQuest 2 version of Ultra Wings. It releases on February 3rd, just about a week away.
A week.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting. So you can purchase it now for PC off Oculus. So I will probably get this, especially if this is cross buy. I will pick this up because it's like VTOL. It kind of,
Yeah.
in the fact that you get some controls, but it's kind of cartoony. So,
Yeah. Look too bad though.
yeah. Well, let me check one more time with the show notes. I think that might be all we have to talk about. Oh, games done in flat screen versus games done in VR. Um, yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about this real quick because I feel like this is a big component about not having your headset collect dust.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if in the past I've done this, and I feel like some people they get a VR headset and then they immediately do this, which is they immediately buy and start playing games that could easily be played on flat screen.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So an example of this would be like Skyrim VR, which is
Right.
amazing, but it's not designed for VR, and because of, sorry, because of that, there's like long walking areas. The world is
Yeah, because
built.
Skyrim's big.
Yeah, and when you have that big of FOV, everything looks like really bad. Excuse me, graphically. It just doesn't
Yeah.
look appeasing. Things that should be high resolution textures are not. Whereas in Racket NX or Beat Saber or Half-Life Alyx, things that are closer to the player's, retinas, virtual retinas are in high resolution. Another example, and I know people might hate me for saying this, but Demio is another game that is great in VR, great experience, but you could just do Demio on a flat screen. In fact, Demio is going to be ported to flat screen. So it's really cool that you can like zoom in on a D&D board. You can zoom in so far that it's life size. That's really cool.
Yeah.
But
It's neat.
like when your headset has been collecting dust for months and you're like, I just don't feel like putting the headset on. It might be because, whoops, all the things that you've purchased for your headset are things that you could just do while relaxing on the couch in front of a
Right.
TV or at your desk, right? So this is why I'm trying to, and people, I mean, listeners, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to listen to me. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to, for when it comes to VR, I'm trying to do like things that can only be done in VR.
Keeping the thrill of the VR alive.
Yeah. And for me, that means like maybe I'm going to work up a sweat. So maybe VR becomes like a 20-minute session and then I go and do something else. But I've done the VR hobby twice before with PlayStation VR. And I've had like Google Cardboard type stuff before too. And I just know how it goes is that it's a fun party trick and then it just gets tossed in the corner and it's basically like e-waste at that point. So,
Yeah.
I feel like we're at such a good place going back to what I was saying about the golden era. I feel like there's all these indie or indie-ish games that are a little cheaper, a little smaller, a little simpler, but they have these game mechanics that can really only be done in VR. And again, Racket NX is a perfect example. I've heard that Walkabout Mini Golf is another really good example.
I did see that in the store today. I didn't look at it too close, but I did notice it. Uh,
Apparently, that one's really good.
there's a lot. There is a lot on there. There's a lot to play. There's a lot
Yeah,
to explore.
I
You
will
know, it's
say. Sorry, go ahead.
no, it's not like you're getting on it. You know what I mean, and not having anything to play. That's the definitely not the case with the
Yeah,
Quest. That was a big fear of mine. Oh, it's too early. They won't have anything. Like buying a new console when it just comes out. There's not a whole lot of titles to
right.
play. You know what I mean? This really doesn't
I
disappoint.
agree. Yeah. Well, that's another reason why I decided to like impulse buy it is because I came to find out that it they made a console. Like I don't even necessarily know if Meta intended on making a console. Right? When Facebook acquired Oculus, it was a display that you put on your head at that time, right?
Right.
It's basically like a gaming monitor that you put in front of your eyes. But the Quest, it's like a Nintendo Switch. It's not just a tablet, but it's also the game system, right? Like the Wii U had the box and then it had the tablet, and
Yeah,
people, it didn't sell very well. But the Switch, it's all in there.
yeah. I like the Switch. It's a good console too.
Yeah. Well, I think that's pretty much all the topics that we have. This wasn't a really big news week. We had Zenith come out, but I'm going to abstain from buying Zenith. Um, do you remember talking about Zenith last time? It's an
Yeah,
MMO
yeah,
RPG.
yeah. Yeah, I see the ad for it quite a bit too when I
Yeah, and
surf on the game library.
and I'll tell you why I'm abstaining from Zenith because I don't know if Zenith is the type of thing that it is. It's an MMO, right? So
Right.
that type of thing is something that you don't put on the headset for 15 minutes and then take it back off. No, with an MMO, what you do is you play it like from the point you wake up to the point you go to bed or
Yeah, you
from when you
binge,
get
yeah,
home
you
from
binge
work. Yeah.
play it.
And maybe I don't want VR to be that.
Right. It's like I said, I'm enjoying mine in little spurts. You know what I mean? Like I play for like a half hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour tops so far. Plus
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting used to it, but
Also, I'm
you know,
not going to lie,
I have to
but
wear it
I've
out.
I've watched some video impressions of Zenith and it looks kind of empty. It looks like something that would be much more appropriate on flat screen, where in order to like walk, you just hold down the W key and then you run into a mob of enemies. But in VR, it's like no, there's just a lot of area around you. And I don't know. I could be wrong.
No.
All right, let's wrap this up. Um, Thanks again for listening. Uh, Make sure to visit our YouTube channel. Um, Subscribe to the podcast, and if you know anybody who has a Quest or another VR headset or is thinking about getting a VR headset, consider telling them about this show. Um, yeah, we just like to talk about it and keep the interest going. So, thanks, Corey.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for having me.
Yep. All right, everybody. Um, yeah, we'll see you in the next episode.